Something is in the air with this NFL season.
I feel a hot take coming. The Browns need to bench Deshaun Watson.
Joe Flacco should be the starting QB.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Lucas Oil Stadium? Nah, we send you guys packing.
The Chiefs are getting lucky.
Be more like me, guys. Come on now. Be more like me.
The Cardinals got a beating
This Browns team is just a hot mess.
in eating W's.
I never want to see that again, by the way. Wake up, NFL fans.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Hurry Up on DAZN. I'm your host with the most, Andre Dixon.
Okay.
I'm not sure if they're going to agree. It is now NFL Week 5. We've had 4 weeks of NFL. I cannot believe it's gone past so quick. But most importantly, it is the London Games week.
It is.
Ooh.
Are you excited?
The London Games always come by so quickly, I feel, and then they go by so quickly as well. Hey, it's always great when the NFL comes to town, and I think we're actually in for a bit of a treat of a couple of games.
No, I agree, man. I feel you mentioned we've had 4 weeks. This is where I panic, right? Because I think the season is going way too fast for my liking. You got to think about how long the off season is. We wait for so long, all the pods, just like this one. All the content that we consume. And now we're heading into week 5. The London Games are here. I've seen Scott Hansen bigging up the games already. That's how I know it's that time of year.
Yeah.
But like you said, I think this game is going to, low key or even high key, going to be real good because we're talking about two teams here who are in the limelight for different reasons.
Yeah.
But
You know what? I got so excited about it being London Games week that I forgot to even say Ash and George.
Hi!
we are here too. Hey, guys.
I just assume everybody knows who we are, so it's fine.
Hey.
Ash is that famous now. She doesn't need any introduction at all. So we're gonna go through all of the games over the weekend. But before we start yibby-yabbing and talking and discussing and arguing and debating and all the good things we've got for this episode, let's go to Izzy Phillips for what we learned in NFL Week 4.
It's time to shake and bake. Baker Mayfield dominated the Eagles in week 4 with 30 catches for 47 attempts. He threw for a whopping 347 yards with 2 touchdowns. Baker Mayfield has been so consistent this season. Apart from that time when Bake turned to burn against the Broncos in week 3. But so far, he seems to be the answer to the Buccaneers offense. Will he be able to keep up this performance for the upcoming weeks? Only time will tell. Who has what it takes to beat the Vikings? The Minnesota Vikings have come into this season burning hot. The Packers fought back in week 4, but it was all in vain as the Vikings were able to pull out the win. As one of the two teams still undefeated, the Vikings have a target on their back. Sam Darnold is quickly becoming a fan favourite in Minnesota, appearing to command the field and lead the team to victory. He'll face his old team in the Jets in London at the weekend. However, a win for the Jets here looks a tough ask. The 49ers are on the road to recovery. This week, the 49ers win against the Patriots after their loss to the Rams in week 3. This Niners performance felt rejuvenated with the return of both Kittle and Deebo Samuels. Purdy really seemed to benefit from their presence and threw himself for 288 yards with 1 touchdown. However, Christian McCaffrey is still that missing puzzle piece, but it seems Jordan Mason has been a good backup for McCaffrey with 123 rushing yards in week 4's matchup.
hold on a second, guys. When I lost my bet, you guys had me in a freezing cold ice bath. I ain't forgotten. You guys had a little bet. In fact, Ash, you had a bet.
You're going to wear some type of apparel, be it cap, jersey, whatever we can get hold of, next week on the show, and you're going to post it
Oh, damn.
to your social media.
Ooh.
And if I'm not correct, you lost. You lost this game. The Packers lost to the Vikings.
They
so
did.
that means that you have to declare your love for the Vikings.
No, that was
whilst,
never
whilst
that
wearing
was
a Vikings jersey.
So I will just say that was never a part of the bet, declaring my love. It was an apology.
We're going to get this tape off, don't you worry.
It was an apology.
Apology, and you got to show love to the Vikings whilst wearing Vikings. So you know what? Let's roll the tape because I think you actually went through with this, right? This happened, didn't it? Let's roll this tape and have a look and see how that went down for you. You know, Packers, Vikings, that whole North Division. Let's have a look.
God. This is what happens when you lose a bet.
I absolutely love that. Now, don't you worry, Vikings fans. We've got much more coming of us, Ash in particular.
I'm coming for you too. I am 100% coming for you too. We're only going into week 5. We've got another 17, 18 weeks left to go.
That is true.
Just sleep with one eye open, boys.
But
Okay?
you know what? You guys have got much more London games build up, especially with obviously the Vikings, because we got to see those lovely fans and you wearing their lovely colours, which
Suits as well, right?
yeah, suits.
Yeah,
It suits.
I think so.
It suits. But let's get to business now. Let's talk about the latest news. George, what we got?
The name of the game right now is injuries in the NFL. Honestly, it's unreal. The Cowboys in particular, they have lost Micah Parsons to, it sounds like a high ankle sprain. I'm not too sure the severity. The word is maybe a couple weeks out. But more worrying for them is DeMarcus Lawrence, the other side of that edge rushing line, who is looking at 4 to 8 weeks out. The Cowboys are in that weird place right now, right? You know, America's team, they're being talked about like they always are. They've lost a couple games, and now they're losing guys who they really need to win games. And they got a massive game against the Steelers coming up. So if you're a Cowboys fan, you better pull that panic alarm right now.
Yeah.
And it's also time for Ash to eat a little bit more humble pie, because Travis Kelce is back after you said he's washed.
I did say he'd be all right. I said he'd be all right.
I mean, we throw things out into the universe, don't we? We manifest things for our boy Travis and the Chiefs. You know what? Me personally, I still need to see more. But hey, Travis, and I will just reiterate for the lovely fans too, I didn't say he looked washed. Those words came out of your mouth, Andre.
Don't send it my way.
Those words came out of your mouth, yeah. But yeah, listen, Travis is back. He's still not looking 100% like we saw last year.
No, yeah.
But hey, if there's an improvement, great. And we'd love to see that at this point of the season. So, I mean, the only way seems to be up for them.
And, George, Matthew Stafford breaking records against the Bears.
Yeah, I believe he's now all-time top 10 in career passing yards. You know what? Stafford is a guy who I don't feel gets the respect that he deserves. From doing the no-look passes before anyone to winning games in comeback fashion. He's that guy who isn't spoken about enough.
He goes under the radar.
He does go under the radar.
Yeah.
I think it's because of the situation he's in right now, and you know they've got a lot of injuries again on that side of the ball. But Matthew Stafford, he's just clutch. He's that guy, man.
Yeah.
Okay, next up, Nick Chubb has actually been activated, which is good news for Deshaun Watson and friends, because they are struggling right now. But someone else who's struggling and may not see him until the end of the playoffs is Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, everybody who picks CMC in their fantasy teams is going to be very upset at this news. I think for now, anyway. But from somebody who absolutely dominated last season, so he's got Achilles tendonitis, so that's in both Achilles. I don't know what the recovery time is per se. But yeah, I mean, the 49ers are saying that he should be back. He's, you know, it's not a season-ending injury or anything. But this is big for the 49ers to lose him for this amount of time. Are we going to see the 49ers struggle severely without him, though? I'm not 100% sure, but it is going to be a massive blow.
Well, if you're like me and you play fantasy football, you would have drafted Jordan Mason. Because who is he? He is the backup to CMC, and he kills it every single week. Be more like me, guys. Come on now. Be more like me.
Be more like me.
Come on now. On the front of
If you keep on saying to me that I say I'm in media, then this has to be a quote.
be like me. If you want to win, do the right thing, eh?
But that's the trailer for this.
That's the quote. That stays.
I will say this about the Chiefs, right? I want you to pay attention. I'm sure right now, all the stories and reports are full of the Chiefs are done. Travis Kelce's washed, potentially. They've lost their number one wide receiver. They've also lost their number one running back in Pacheco. Carson still gets the majority of the reps, fumbles the ball. You don't do that in Andy Reid's book because you will be benched. But I will say, if there is any team in the NFL that can overcome challenges, obstacles, injuries, and go back to back to back, it's the Chiefs, right? I mean, I don't think we should be panicking or raising the alarm bell because the Chiefs are the Chiefs. They're two-time Super Bowl winners for a reason, you know? Like, I know they've got injuries, and I know everyone's reeling right now, but as long as you have Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and Andy Reid, all is good with the Chiefs.
No, I've written them off too many times, and we've seen them personally win the Super Bowl. So I'm never writing them off ever, no matter how doubtful it looks.
Okay, here's this. I want to ask you about the Jags.
Okay.
Another last bit of news before we move on. Do you guys think that Doug Peterson is about to get fired, or potentially the first head coach this season to be fired? Because they're in some deep, deep trouble.
I personally don't think so. I mean, I think he's definitely a head coach that is in that mix of what's going to happen with them. And there's currently about 4 or 5 head coaches in there. I think it's more of a question of what is going on with Trevor Lawrence.
My God.
I think, with the Jags not having won, and they finished last season as well on losing streaks too. I think, I'm more concerned about what is happening with Trevor Lawrence and kind of what's going on with his gameplay in his head first. And then maybe my second question for the Jags will be Doug Peterson. What's happening here?
Do you think the money's got to his head?
Oh.
They paid them a bag of money.
The problem is that when you get signed a big contract, then obviously a bit more of a microscope's on you. So, and rightfully so. I mean, they renamed the stadium temporarily after him. So therefore, there's big expectations. However, I would say Doug Peterson's job is safe. I think he's got enough, good grace in the bank. We'll move on quickly. I'm really excited about this bit. Runs of the week.
Massive runs. If you guys watch the Lions Seahawks game, David Montgomery, listen, he's my kind of running back. He's quick enough to run away from defenders, but he can lay the hit stick. Listen, angry runs, he wins that title today. He wins that title this week. He came up against a Seahawks cornerback who literally bounced off of him, and David Montgomery continued for another about 25 yards. That guy is made of steel. He's legit.
You got to throw Gibbs into that mix though as well.
Yes.
Lions have got a really good running back duo there.
Punch.
And they're coming across as like bulldozers. They can get the job done. I don't think it's a question with the Lions here about whether one is just like, 3rd and goal, go in and everything. Like both of these guys can get it done, and that's exciting.
Yeah. Well, let's go through some of them. Obviously, we've got Saquon Barkley's against the Bucks. Yeah. My lord, he's playing really well.
How are you feeling? How are you feeling about Saquon? Obviously, you're a Giants fan. Right?
Is this his little revenge, isn't it?
But I'm just interested.
No, you know what? To be honest with you, he's not surprising me. This is what I'm surprised that we're giving him up. And still to this day,
what the hell?
And then we keep on getting the repeats of, our GM's son making better picks than the GM. However, I just think that he's pretty much doing everything for. Pretty much he's doing everything he did last season, this season, but he's their only hope at the moment. So if we're moving on really quickly, conveniently, to Derrick Henry.
Oh my God.
The genetics in Derrick Henry, I need to know what his genetic makeup is. If there's a biology major, whatever, out there who knows this, Lord above. This guy over his NFL career has taken hits galore. He should not be running the way that he is running. 199 rushing yards.
Yep.
This guy is a bulldozer. He is a powerhouse. He is everything that you want in a running back, and it just so happens that he's on the Ravens.
The thing is, though, to do what he did in that game against the Buffalo Bills on the first handoff of the game, 87 yards to the house. Are you crazy? Do you know what that is? This is a man, by the way. You want to know about his genetics? This is a man who doesn't eat anything aside from like a banana a few hours before the game. No fried foods, no gluten. This man is locked in. But how he gets that big and can work out as hard as he does and perform like that on that kind of diet, don't forget, he takes hits, but he delivers them hits too. We're talking about the stiff arm king. We're talking about the stiff arm king. And for him to get 199 yards, I'm gutted that he didn't get the 200. But if this is what the Ravens are going to be, and we'll talk about this later, then the league needs to be scared.
All right, let's go to the game reviews of the weekend. Let's start off with Dallas Cowboys on Thursday Night Football beating a team that could not score a touchdown, that refused to score a touchdown, that only could score field goals. That will be my New York Giants. Ash, what say you?
Listen, I think if the Dallas Cowboys were playing any other team apart from the Giants, the outcome would have been very different. I'm not excited about this Cowboys team. Sorry, Cowboys fans. But yeah, I think a win is a win here purely because they were playing the Giants. That's it.
Giants fans, things can only get worse. Wherever you think the bottom is, it could open up and it could be sitting even more lower than we actually are. Let's move on to the Falcons beating the Saints.
Yeah, another interdivisional battle. This one's interesting because I thought the Saints would have enough minerals to win this game. But, I mean, I wasn't massively impressed with either side. Falcons get the last-minute field goal win. Young Waker is clutch like that, so congratulations to them. But that division's always tight, so we haven't seen the last of it yet.
Okay, let's move on to the supposed revenge game for Nathaniel Hackett, where the Broncos beat the Jets.
This game, I mean, I actually started Rodgers in fantasy, so I was a little bit disappointed with this. But anytime you see rain in a game, you know it's not going to go too well. Somehow, the Broncos managed to defeat the Jets. And if you saw Aaron Rodgers on the sideline, he was done. He was not happy.
I mean, he's not a young spring chicken anymore.
He's not.
No.
He just wants to win. He wants to win and get out of there. But the thing about this game is, Bo Nix at one point had minus passing yards. Minus. I think total yardage was very low. So to come out and win a game like that against, the so-called amazing defense Jets and, the Aaron Rodgers-led Jets was impressive for Bo Nix. So good for them. And that revenge game against Nathaniel Hackett did not go to plan.
Baker Mayfield put on a show against the Eagles, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It made for great viewing for me.
Baker Mayfield is fast becoming just Mr. I don't know what the next level up from Mr. Reliable is, but Baker Mayfield's getting the job done. And I think, what's nice to see as well, Baker Mayfield is enjoying himself. He did say this week that he's having fun at Tampa Bay. And I think that just goes to show what we're seeing in his game plan. I know, nice to see from a lot of Giants fans that the Eagles did lose. Nick Sirianni is in the hot seat. We've got to say that. But yeah, this Buccaneers, I mean, they're looking good. Like George said, NFC South, I think it's up for grabs.
Yeah. Let's go to the Colts, who did everything to almost lose the game against the Steelers.
Yeah. I mean, every analyst that I saw, I'm talking to all you analysts right now, you know who you are. All of you. All of you had us down to lose by huge margins. Ain't no one picked the Colts. Did I back the Colts? Of course I backed the Colts. You can't come to our house? Come to our house? Lucas Oil Stadium? Nah, we send you guys packing. I know we nearly lost the game, but we send you guys packing.
Sorry.
You better take them towels and get the hell out of here.
I have to interject here.
Get out of
Ash,
here.
you and I witnessed the chat. And there was, if
it
there's
was stressful.
one word that I can actually put in the air in that chat, it was fear.
Yeah.
Because I was looking forward to coming back here. Because I swear, if you would have lost that game.
Listen, I was on the edge of my seat. I had hoodie on. I was pretty much watching out of a letterbox at this point. Because, we nearly drew the game. But we were 2 touchdowns up in the first quarter. We looked good. Yes, Anthony Richardson got hurt. Don't come at me with he's fragile. He made the glass. It happens, right? He'll be back next week. But we got the dub. That's all that matters. Terrible towels. Get out of here.
Ugly, but a win is a win.
It's a win is a win.
Yeah.
You play what's in front of you, and that's all we did. Yeah. On to the next one.
Let's go to Chicago, where they beat the Rams, surprisingly.
Yeah, Caleb Williams finally came out and looked as if something just clicked all of a sudden. He definitely had a bit of a better day. This Bears team, though, still has a long way to go. Not really much else to say for me on this game, apart from, fair enough, Caleb Williams.
Okay, let's go to Arizona, where the Cardinals got a beating by the Commanders.
Yeah, man. Honestly.
Cliff Kingsbury made sure that he understood whose fault it is, why he had to leave, and it was not his.
Yeah. I'm telling you, that game, I'm sure Cliff had that circled, underlined on the calendar. He's like, see this game? This
Arrows,
game,
everything.
We're coming hot. And hot Jaden Daniels is breaking history left, right, and center. The most accurate rookie in his first 4 starts, I believe, in forever.
Yeah.
This guy just looks so poised. So I kind of feel like I said this about CJ Stroud last year, where now it's Jaden Daniels. And there's this whole thing about being second pick in the draft. And at the minute, it seems like there could be a thing to it. But my God, did they run up that score? Jaden Daniels and the Commanders look amazing. Led by Dan Quinn, formerly of the Cowboys defensive line. My God, I'm so happy with... I'm actually happy for the Commanders. I'm happy for them.
Well, Cliff Kingsbury is still getting paid. Let's just remember that.
Crazy.
He is still getting paid. And he's
Crazy.
not just getting paid a little couple of pennies here, a couple of pennies there. No, he is getting paid coin. Yeah. But I will just say as well, everybody kind of came into this season, including myself, thinking, it's going to be Dallas Cowboys or the Eagles winning the NFC East. Let's just remind ourselves, the Commanders are currently 3-1.
Mm-hmm.
This, something is in the air with this NFL season. Something juicy, something spicy, something weird and wonderful. If Jaden Daniels can keep this up, the Commanders are currently looking real pretty.
Man.
Okay, let's go to my favourite game of the weekend. The one I really did enjoy, even I got nervous towards the end, was the Vikings beating down the Packers.
I almost feel as if you guys are describing me like a Dallas Cowboys fan. Like, you know what I mean? Like suddenly there's hate, like little cattle prongs. Like, why are you poking the bear? Listen, interestingly enough, Jordan Love is 0-2 and Malik Willis is 2-0. Jordan Love looked, I'll probably say, 92%.
Right.
Not 99, I think he looked 92. He did not look 100% flexible on his knee. You could see it when he steps back, comes out of the pocket. That knee was too rigid. So I would have maybe liked it if he'd spent another week sitting on the bench. But I do appreciate this is a hot divisional matchup. If I'm Jordan Love, I would want to come back as well. But hey, our defense needs to sort out these penalties. Like, Jesus wept. Seriously. If I have to go through another game of like 10, 12 penalties, flags being thrown for silly little things, and most of it is common sense, discipline, everything, it stresses me out. I know you said that you were sat on the edge of the seat. I was up and down my living room pacing. I was going to have to take out the ironing board at some point and just do something. Do you know what I mean?
Actually did a change of outfit to bring better luck to the team.
And you know what? When I did that, suddenly we turned things around.
You did almost bring it back, but then they kind of put the nail in.
It was too little too late for the Packers. But hey, not a problem. Vikings, you're not going the whole season undefeated.
Wow. Well done, Vikings. You saved me from wearing anything to do with the Eagles. Okay, let's go to the Texans who beat the Jags.
Yeah, just about. They were really close to losing this game, but CJ Stroud came through with the Texans. I mean, it wasn't their best game. It just says a lot about the Jags, really. I just think they're in such a mess. But as for the Texans, well done to them. The AFC South is a bit discombobulated right now.
Oh, okay. Great word.
Big word there.
Yeah,
Love that.
nice.
Good one there. But yeah, get the win and move on to the next.
Okay, let's go to the Bengals who beat the Panthers.
Finally, the Bengals get a win. Finally. Joe Burrow, Chase. You know what? I love to see it. Hopefully, the only way is up now for the Bengals. But finally, something clicked.
The 49ers back on track against the Patriots.
Yeah, Brock Purdy getting it done. Deebo Samuel returned back to the fold as well. It was good to see him on the field. I mean, I thought they were always going to win this game. I didn't see the Patriots having much of a chance, but onwards and upwards.
The Chiefs came through against the Chargers.
Just.
Stay winning.
Less is more on this one. I mean, yeah, never bet against the Chiefs, but I'll always say it. The Chiefs are getting lucky. They're getting lucky.
Things aren't looking good for the Browns as the Raiders came through and got the W.
The Browns are in a weird place right now. In fact, you know what? I feel a little hot take coming. The Browns need to bench Deshaun Watson. They need to bench this guy. Listen, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but this team isn't harmonious. There's something going wrong with the Browns, the Cleveland Browns. They're arguing on the sideline. They're almost coming to scuffles on the side. No one's seeing eye to eye. I've even seen the O-lineman refusing Watson's help to get up.
Yeah.
When you see that, you know something is wrong, right? I believe they're 1-3 right now. That defense that's supposed to be, closing out games isn't really doing it. Myles Garrett has got his own issues going on with being injured, but I think something is very wrong with the Cleveland Browns, and it sounds like the Browns of old. You got to bench Deshaun Watson right now for Jameis Winston because I know people find him awkward, but he'll get the team going. Do it right now.
Ravens reign supreme against the Bills. I was quite impressed with this one.
Ravens are looking good. This is a Ravens team that everybody wanted to see before the start of this season. Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson. Give me a better duo in the league right now.
Titans beat down the Dolphins very badly.
Yeah, a weird game, man. A weird game. I'm not sold on Will Levis. Obviously, Mason Rudolph ended up coming into this game because of an injury. They wouldn't call it an injury. Will Levis sucked. So they got him out of there and put in Mason Rudolph. It's as simple as that. The Miami Dolphins obviously don't really have a quarterback right now. They had Huntley, who is a Pro Bowler, but still managed to lose this game. Miami are in the lost space right now. They're lost. They don't know what's going on, and I feel for their fans and their team right now.
And on the same night, but different fight, Lions beat the Seahawks.
This was such a good fire kind of track meet matchup. It was going back and forth. Ultimately, this game really could have gone either way if we had just maybe another few more minutes on the clock. But Jared Goff is having perfect games. Perfect games. Best decision he's ever made. Moving to Motor City in Detroit.
Okay, we're going to go to the thing I'm quite nervous about, which is my power list.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Now, I've been deliberating about this.
Okay.
Even on the way here, I've moved things up and down several times. However, this is just at the moment. We are counting up to week 4. So relax, everyone. Things can move. Your team could be back in the top 5. But for now, here they are.
I want to know where this is going, man.
Let's do this. Number 5, the Buffalo Bills.
Ooh, 5. Okay.
Number 4, the 49ers. Number 3, the Ravens. Number 2, the Chiefs. And number 1, the Minnesota Vikings. Deservedly so.
Okay. 1
Okay.
and 2, I'm with you fully because
Boom.
the Vikings, for me, are hella impressive. We got to give some flowers to Brian Flores as well. That defense, I mean, potential head coach candidate, should be a head coach in my opinion. He's running things down there in Minnesota. The Chiefs, the thing is, the Chiefs haven't played their best football. They aren't playing good football. It's simple as that. Patrick Mahomes is not Patrick Mahomes in right now. He really isn't. But they're 4-0 alongside the Vikings, right? So deservedly number 2. Number 3, you had the Ravens, I believe.
Yeah.
So the Ravens who just beat the Bills, who are now, I believe, 2-2 in the AFC North.
But you put the Bills in number 5.
Put the Bills in number
Put
5.
the Bills at number 5.
And was there another team that you were going to put instead of the 49ers at number 4?
Well, the Lions. And that's
The
why they
Lions,
get their wrath
I think
of
the
their
Lions
fans.
deserve. I would put the Lions in there. I would
Yeah.
probably.
Who'd you put the Ravens-
So I would
Lions
stick.
at?
I would stick with number 1 Vikings.
Yeah.
Number 2 Kansas City. Number 3.
I don't know if I'd put the Ravens at
It's
number 3,
tricky
you know.
because
You
you
put
can
them higher.
It's tricky. I might
Maybe.
go.
I'd maybe put the Ravens at number 2 and the Chiefs at number 3. Because this,
Yeah, I
this is
think-
your power ranking list for this week,
Yeah.
isn't it?
I mean, the two teams, 1 and 2, are undefeated.
Yeah.
I mean, that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just kind of looking at the overall gameplay and the
Yeah.
overall team and stuff. Like you said,
Yeah.
just the Chiefs aren't playing their best game.
But they're
And
finding
I'll-
ways to win.
They
I
are.
will
I can't-
die on a hill with this. They
Yeah.
are just getting lucky with
But
their
the
wins.
thing is that I can't punish them.
No, I know. It's
for,
yeah.
for
That's
their
fair,
circumstances. Despite everything, they find ways to win. Someone steps up in that team.
I wouldn't be upset if you switched number 2 and 3 around, or if you kept it as it is.
Okay.
I would only
Yeah.
swap out the 49ers. I'll put in the Lions.
Yeah.
Well, you take them out. You take the
I would
49ers
take
out of the
out.
top 10.
I would
Top 5, I mean.
Yeah, Vikings.
Take them out of the
yeah,
top 10.
Top
I
10.
would, I would take
Put
them
'em
out. I would take them out, and I'd put the Lions in. So you've got Lions rather than 49ers, and then you've got the I'd even swap it round. I'd put Niners 5th, and I'd put the Bills 4th. In my opinion.
I don't think that's like very controversial though to take the Niners out right
I
now.
had trouble with it because, like, you know, just leaving the Lions out was quite difficult for me.
Yeah.
I mean,
But-
and there are other teams for you.
NFC
Yeah,
North.
yeah. It is tricky because if you look at it from winning record, there's other teams like the Seahawks who are now 3-1, so it's tricky.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
we could
yeah.
we could debate it all day.
Yeah. Not as stressful as you thought, eh?
Wasn't stressful as I thought.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we'll see what people say in comments, that's for sure. Okay, before we go on to the overreactions, which I'm really looking forward to seeing what you guys have got to say about that, let's go back to London for our time with the Minnesota Vikings and Ash in their uniform. Let's have a look. Everyone, there's a Packers fan here. Okay, now is the time I've been excited to see what these guys have got to say. I have scoured social media to see some outlandish statements. So, as a working title, we'll just call this Overreactions. Rich Eisen, thanks for that. So, let me read out some statements that people have made. This is not me,
Wow.
by the way. I just want to make this clear.
I love this. Is it really, or is this
Yeah,
words
yeah.
from
Is
your
it really
mouth?
Trey?
Yeah.
Like pseudo names that I've just been
Yeah.
putting out
Yeah.
to loads of different accounts like Kevin Durant. I know what you're doing.
Yeah. We see that, and Deshaun Watson too. We see that.
Is that what he's been
He's
doing?
been doing it.
What is wrong with him? Right. Anyway, let's move on to the first statement. Are you ready?
Okay.
God.
Right. The Ravens are the only team that can challenge the Chiefs.
Ooh. I disagree with that because yes, the Ravens. I see the reason why I'll agree because they now have Derrick Henry, right, and that brings a whole nother element of a dilemma for a defense because you've got stop Derrick Henry, stop Lamar Jackson through the air in the ground. Like you've got all that dilemma. So I agree with that. I disagree because the Vikings.
I was
So
gonna say,
as far as I've seen,
I'd
they're legit
I'd like to see a Chiefs Vikings matchup.
for real.
That would be great.
For real. I
We
disagree.
disagree.
with that for sure. Yeah, I don't agree with that. Nah, man. There's a couple teams out there that can give them a run for their money. Hell, I mean, they didn't have a clean game against the Chargers, did they?
No.
With a banged up Justin Herbert. So
Yeah.
The Washington Commanders will win the NFC East.
oh man,
Yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I agree.
Yes.
I agree.
They're 3-1.
Right.
When somebody's going to have to like Google fact check this for me. When was the last time
Commanders, yeah.
the Commanders were doing this? They've got Cowboys, Eagles, who are kind of unraveling really quickly.
Yeah.
And then the Giants, who just, I mean, if they turn up to the party a couple of times throughout the regular season,
Yeah.
that's nice for them. But yeah, I think the Commanders can get this job done with Jaden Daniels.
Yeah. I think the only thing to be mindful of is, and I agree, by the way, for sure, Jane Daniels and Quinn are running that show. Can there be a debate to say that the Eagles and the Cowboys are giving them the division? Is that fair to
No,
say?
I think they're just taking it.
Is that you think they're taking it? I just want to throw that out there. I agree, but the Eagles and Cowboys, if they were playing like they really should be doing, would this be?
I
Would we
think
be
they-
saying the same
I mean,
thing?
I don't think the Cowboys and Eagles are just sat there being like,
They're just not playing
you know
very well.
what?
No, they're beating them down.
Yeah.
Like,
I
think they're
don't mind
beating
this
them down.
season.
Yeah.
You guys take it. I don't fancy it this year.
Right, there's too much kumbaya, too much agreeing in this panel. Let
Okay.
me start
Here we go.
some trouble here.
Spice things
Ruffling
up.
them feathers.
So, Joe Flacco
Oh,
for the
my
Indianapolis
God.
Colts,
Of course.
no matter when Anthony Richardson's come back from injury, should be the starting QB. What
Absolutely
say
not.
you?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. If you're one of them people out here who are claiming that Flacco, who, don't get me wrong, he's a baller. He came on in that game when AR got hurt. Yes, you're going to say he got hurt again. He came on and he got us a W against the Steelers. Credit. Flacco's a good guy, but you cannot tell me that Flacco needs to be the starting quarterback. We didn't wait all our season whilst Anthony Richardson recovered only to have him healthy and bench his ass for Flacco. No. He needs game time. He needs reps. He needs experience. This season with the Colts is not about a goddamn Super Bowl. Please wake up, Colts fans. Wake up, NFL fans. That's not how it works, right? This season is about giving Anthony Richardson the experience and the reps that he needs. Next season and the season after that, then we can start talking about, playoffs and Super Bowl. Flacco, we love you. You sit on the sofa, bro. Anthony Richardson, this is your team.
Should Tyreek Hill look for a trade to
Wow. You're going to say Chiefs.
the Chiefs?
Do you know what? I'm actually down for this.
Yeah.
This is crazy because I saw the shot of him on the sideline looking sad and upset because he's been here before. Tua gets hurt, unfortunately. The team literally goes down the hole, right? And nothing seems to work. He for sure is thinking, oh man, if I had Patrick Mahomes, we'd be running this up. The only problem there, they got Xavier Worthy.
Yeah.
Are they going to then go and bring Tyreek Hill and have to? I mean, they could. Don't get me wrong. Never say never. Like I said before, if the Chiefs going to find a way to win, maybe it means bringing him back. I don't know. Would I like to see it? Yes. Is it going to happen? I'm not sure.
If I'm Andy Reid and the Chiefs, nah, I'm good. They traded him away for a reason. Like
Because I couldn't afford him.
Yeah.
But he's gone
maybe
for
now.
but he's gone for a reason. Like I said, this guy, he's not in his early 20s anymore. I mean, yeah, he can still run. I mean, we saw that speed on him a Monday Night Football game and everything, and he does still have it in him. But if I'm the Chiefs, I mean, is it ever a good thing to kind of always go back?
Yes,
yourself
in this
sometimes?
circumstance, if you want a three-peat,
Yeah.
let me tell you this now. Here's my hot take.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
If the Chiefs were to trade for Tyreek Hill, this is imaginary because there's a lot of moving parts in this, they will win another Super Bowl. Done.
I mean, I think Tyreek Hill would want that. At the end of the day, we know players want to be on a team that's getting wins and is going to be Super Bowl contenders. Is it going to happen, though? I'm going to be really surprised if that trade happens.
But then again, it's
Yeah.
the NFL, isn't it? Any given Sunday.
Anything can happen. Right, let's move on to the New York Jets, who this season, despite all of the fanfare, flag carrying and everything, I've got to be careful what I say because I'm with them this week, will not make the playoffs.
Ooh, that AFC East.
This is
division.
not me, by the way.
Yeah.
Imagine. It was me.
All right, I'll get banned from the training facility.
I'll go ahead and say the Patriots ain't going to make it in the AFC East. The Bills, yes. Man.
The Jets aren't making the playoffs. I'm
No,
gonna
they're
say
not.
that.
Yeah.
Jets are not making the playoffs. They will win this week, though, because somebody's got to take down the Vikings. So I'm going for every single opponent until the Vikings get their loss. Jets will win in London, open in London game weekend. But yeah, the Jets aren't making the playoffs. I'm going to reiterate what Georgia said. This offense isn't looking great. And hey, all it's going to take is just another injury, which could happen at some point.
Let's see what the Jets fans say next week when we tell them what Ash said.
Well, listen, I'm going for them to win, but to make the playoffs, this is a big ask for the Jets.
There's big hopes there. There's big hopes for them.
I don't see
Well, you know
hopes
what?
and dreams.
Knock them down.
I don't see it. I don't see it.
I see the hopes. Knock them
Last
down.
one. The Cincinnati Bengals will still win the AFC North.
Absolutely not. Hell no. Whoever said that is in dreamland. I know you just won a game, right? Calm down. You ain't winning nothing in that division. I'm sorry. The Ravens, the Steelers, even the Browns. No, absolutely not.
But
keep dreaming, man.
History speaks for itself.
Nah, like,
You're going to go with it?
No.
no.
Of course
absolutely
not. What?
He's got a dreaming out here, man.
Nobody
Dreaming.
has... I mean, you know what? Blimey. This is going to be one for the history books. Kids in 20 years' time will be learning about this in their NFL classes up and down the country.
Hold on a second. Do you remember the Packers when the Packers weren't doing well and then Aaron Rodgers says, right, we're just going to run the table? And they did.
The Bengals have only just won their first game of the season.
Yeah.
Statistics have always said for teams to start their season 0-3, I think only 6 teams have made the playoffs since 1990 doing that.
Yeah.
It is so difficult. It's beyond difficult. They are neck deep still in a hole, even though they've won one game.
Yeah.
To make the playoffs at all. And they're not in an easy division.
That's the other thing, the division. The only other thing is the divisional game that they haven't yet played, which is what Joe Burrow mentioned.
Steelers, Ravens.
Yeah, I don't see it. I'm sorry,
Now,
guys.
the last question may have been by someone that we all know because he has a certain quarterback in his fantasy team. And this said out of hope more than anything else.
Yeah, smash that hope. Ain't happening. Get rid of it. Chuck it out the window, bro. Nah.
Okay, it's time for our games of the week. The games you should be watching on NFL Game Pass, on DAZN, of course. And on top of that, our locks of the week. I'm going to start off with you, Georgie boy.
Yeah.
Who have you got?
For me, it's quite obvious. I'm going with the Browns at the Commanders. And I think Jaden Daniels are going to walk all over this Browns defense. What defense? They clearly haven't been showing up because they're 1-3, whereas the Commanders are 3-1. The Commanders are also my lock of the week. So there you go. 2-1. Browns at Commanders. Commanders get the W.
Well, I'm going for a juicy, spicy divisional matchup. We've already spoken about this. Bengals versus the Ravens. I believe in my heart of hearts that Derrick Henry is going to have another stormer of a day. The Bengals' run defense will not be able to contain him. And the Bengals won't be going and winning any sort of division or making any sort of playoffs. But my lock of the week is coming for the first London game at Tottenham. Of course, I will die on a hill with this. I'm going for every opponent for the Vikings till they lose the game. My lock of the week is the Jets. Aaron Rodgers gets the job done in London.
This bitterness runs deep with you. It really does.
I've got more. I've got more in the tank.
All right, my game of the week is the Packers at the Rams. I really think that's going to be a great game for you to watch. Get your popcorn and all the food and drink ready because that's going to be a doozy. My lock is going to be the Steelers beating the Cowboys.
Ooh.
Oh.
Wow.
Cowboys are injured, ragged.
Yeah.
The Steelers should have won that game against the Colts. So
They didn't know.
So put your money on that. Don't blame me if it goes wrong. Okay, it's the end of the episode. We've had a great time. Amazing, spicy topics.
Oh, we have.
discussed.
If you want to be more like George as well.
You heard it here first. I got the keys.
Right, we want to give you guys a special thank you for all the love and support that we've been getting from you guys online. Thank you for your message of support. You guys spreading the word. Really appreciate you guys because obviously, after all, we are fans ourselves and we do it for you, the fans.
Yeah.
So we'll catch you guys next week. We will see you after the first London games. Peace.